Alright, this is the nut from the top of the shock, and it was not easy to get out. I'll show you how rusty that was. I worked it back and forth with a breaker bar, and just so you guys can see, I had a vice grip and I had to grab the shaft of the shock itself in order to hold it from spinning. And it took time with BB Blaster, working it back and forth with a breaker bar, and I was able to get it off without incident. It took a while, probably about 15 minutes, but I ended up getting it. So I'm going to take this 2 bolts out of the bottom and then show you guys what that shock looks like. Alright, the wheel of death is out. The bolts on the bottom of the shock, there's nuts on top. I can't get to them. They're all rusted solid. I'm just going to cut the heads off and then install new hardware. I have all this stuff over here, this old hardware from years past, cars I've worked on, and I think I'm going to use some of these clips here to mount the shocks back in on the bottom, but that'll be later during installation. Alright, here's the shocks. They are pretty spent junk, so we're going to replace those. Now I think what we should do is let's go look under the front end. Alright, I have all new steering components for this because the steering is really sloppy and I might as well just fix it. So I don't think I'm going to touch the stabilizer mounts right now because that's something I can do later. I just want to be able to get this to pass inspection so that I can drive it around for the rest of the summer. So I am going to replace all the steering stuff, and I'm going to take it all out in one piece because I have new tie rod ends, inner and outer, I have a new drag link, I have a new idler arm, and I think that's pretty much it. That's all the I think that's all I need. So I am going to take this all out in one piece and save myself some aggravation. Alright, I got the whole steering linkage assembly out in one piece. It's all garbage. Gonna redo the whole thing, so I didn't show you much on getting it out, but it was really a nightmare. This did not want to come out of the steering box, but I finally got it out. And I'll show you what I used basically. I had to use my pneumatic air chisel, not chisel, but I had to use my, yeah, I guess it is an air chisel, with my ball joint separator. And man, did I pound, look at the mess I made. We'll take a look underneath here. You can see all the steering linkage is gone. None of it's here anymore. So we're gonna start from scratch with all brand new stuff. So I think at this point what I want to do now is I got a lot of cleaning up to do, so I'm gonna start doing that now. I'm thinking while I got everything out, maybe it's a good time to cut those out of there. I'm not even gonna try to unbolt them. I think I'm just gonna cut them out. We might as well replace those two while we're in here. Alright, so I got my rust treatment, and we're gonna just paint all the rusted areas inside of here to try to neutralize the rust, and then we're gonna put a coat of paint on it. Put it on the frame as well, anywhere where there's surface rust. Okay, I got this all painted up, you can see it. This area here is all painted, it's starting to dry already, it's starting to turn black. This was all from the leaky master cylinder that caused all the rust. But when that dries, I'm going to coat it with black paint. Alright, I got this all coated now, and we'll let that dry. And as you can see up here, a leaky master cylinder, not looking too hot. I will clean that all up, and we'll probably paint that vacuum booster too once I get that master cylinder off. And we start cleaning that all up. Alright, it's all dry now. And you can see it's a dark black color. but I'm going to put a coat of paint on this now and come back when it's done. Okay, here's what the inside of it looks like. All nice and treated. And I'm just going to hit that with some black paint as well. Let's come down here and look at this. This looks nice too. It should stop the rust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that with some black spray paint, and we should be good to go. All right, we're into the car. This is the brake line that I got, brake cable that I got to replace. You can see how rusty it is. And it goes over to here, and it connects right there. So I'm going to try to get this off if I can. If I can't, I'm just going to zip wheel it right there and then just slide the thing off. And then pull it out here. But first I want to try to get that off, so I'm going to do that now. Well, this thing here is pretty much rusted in there. The clip just kind of fell apart. So I'm going to use a drive pin and a hammer, see if I can punch that through. If not, I'm going to cut it off with a cutoff wheel and then drive it through. But I think I can probably drive it through with just a pin and a hammer. Now you guys can see how nice this came out in here when I painted it. Now I punched that through, so let's pull it out, and that's pretty much it. That's the old cable. Okay, so the spring here, there is a well, anyways, it's making a mess, but there's a locking clip right here. You guys can see that. You have to take that off the old one and install it on the new one. It's a two-hand job, so I'll put it on, come back and show you what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the clip right there, and it goes on that retainer on the cable, and it keeps the spring tension on the cable. All right, I am going to try to figure out how to get that grommet off without destroying it and putting it on this one, because we definitely need it, without a doubt. All right, I had to cut it. It's the only way. So it is what it is. And I'll grease it up so that it'll go into the hole here. I'm gonna feed this up now, and then try to connect it inside the car if I can. I'll try to get that part of it done. All right, we got it installed. It's down through the frame, and it is connected to the pedal inside the car. So I'm going to go underneath and connect. Okay, now that the emergency brake's done, it's all adjusted. You hit the brakes, the rear tires don't rotate, it snaps back, everything's good. I'll show you guys the emergency brake working. There's the pedal right there. The rear wheel does not spin. And you pull the lever, and she pops back, and the wheel spins. So the emergency brake is fixed. All right, guys, I cleaned up. That is all the stuff that I either cut out from the front of the car, and this stuff I scraped off, and a lot of it is in the trash barrel because it was pretty big, pretty good sized chunks of I don't even know what it was, like grease and grime. But anyways, I scraped all that off. Let's take a look at the sides of the car. All right, the car looks pretty good. It's all cleaned up. Looks really nice. Probably gonna hit that with some paint up in there just to cover the bare metal. Everything is cleaned. You can see here all the grime that I scraped off of there and everything. Probably hit that with some black paint as well. We're all ready for brakes. I had to order calipers because I thought I was going to use those calipers, but no, not happening. And now I got to order rotors because I don't know if you guys can see how pitted those are. If I'm going to go through the trouble of changing all the brakes, you know, front, rear, I mean, master cylinder, the whole 9 yards, I might as well put, I mean, calipers as well. I might as well put in new rotors. So yeah, the wheels, the wheel cylinders in the back were brand new, so I don't need to replace those. Those are already new. So pots are on order, and I think that's it for now. The wheel came out really nice. It cleaned up really good with the super clean. Very happy with the way that came out. pretty much everything is at a standstill until I finish the brakes. Here's the list. We can cross like a couple of things off anyways. The emergency brake cables are done, and the rear shocks are done. The exhaust, I did fix the exhaust leak. I am going to replace later, but not now. So there's still a lot to do here. I don't see anything else. Replace the brake lines, thermostat, hoses. Oh, rear drums have been replaced. Alright, that's it for now. Alright guys, there it is. Thanks for watching. This was really tough, this one here, trying to get that old rusty steering assembly out of this. It's probably the most difficult thing I had to do so far. You would think the emergency brake cables would have been difficult, but they really weren't that bad. They were actually pretty easy. Getting that steering stuff out of there was not fun. I ended up getting it out, but we run out of time for this video. When we come back, everything is all cleaned up. The next video will be assembly. We'll assemble the front end and hopefully the brakes if I have all the parts for it. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this build in this car. I am. It's fun. I like working on cars. I just don't do it enough, I guess. So yeah, there's a lot going on still. Stay tuned. There's going to be multiple videos on this coming, and it's going to be pretty cool when it's all done. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.